Yo, this is the Scarcity Studios YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. And our sponsors at Alpha Claims and Hire Birmingham, the leading and best accident management company. Get a replacement car anywhere in 1 hour. I really appreciate you joining me. And we've got a lot of news to get through today. And the first story comes from West London. It's about a gas explosion that happened. And our reporter Dave Nathan went down to the scene to get us footage of the emergency services at work. This happened in Southall and 2 people have been reported as dead. This fire was devastating and it shows the impact and the severity of gas explosions. Firefighters have said that the blast happened at a phone shop and a barber's on King Street in Ealing at around 6:20 AM in the morning on Wednesday. Footage that went round on social media showed firefighters in the building trying to help a person that was trapped on the upper floor. 4 adults and 1 child were taken from the wreckage in a statement just after 4 PM, and 2 people were pronounced dead at the scene. Another 16 residents, including 2 children, were evacuated from nearby properties. Station Commander Paul Morgan said, "Our crews have searched the property using specialist equipment, including the use of USAR dogs. We can confirm that 2 people have sadly died at the scene, and it's a painstaking and protracted incident, with firefighters working systematically to stabilise the building and search for people involved. Operations have concluded for the evening and will restart in the morning," they said. And in the initial stages, the firefighters rescued 4 adults and 1 child that were situated at the back of the property. They used a ladder in order to gain access. Harmeet Singh from the Gurdwara temple nearby has been helping rescue survivors since 7 AM. The explosion was felt over a mile away and they fear there could have been more deaths. And there is a lot of shock and survivors are very shaken. The phone shop, called Dr. Phone, was destroyed in the blast and the owner said he was shocked when he arrived at the scene. Jatinder Singh, 36, received a phone call from a neighbour to tell him that his shop had been totally destroyed. He said, "I'm not sure what happened, I'm in shock. My landlord is in there now looking into it as well. I don't know if anyone was hurt or if anyone was living upstairs. There is too much in there that I've lost." He said that he locked up his shop at the usual time and he didn't think anything was wrong, and then he got a phone call from a neighbour to get down to where his shop was due to the explosion. He said, "I'm fine, I'm not hurt. The police had a special dog team and they are keeping everyone away." A massive cordon was thrown up around King Street as fire investigators began their investigation into the explosion. Another local business owner said there was a massive explosion and his whole shop shook. He said that he heard there was injuries and it was a massive shock. Another said, we've been told a gas canister exploded and there are police and firefighters everywhere. We are hoping everyone we know there is okay, but it's a very close-knit community." Around 40 firefighters from the surrounding areas were at the scene, and a Metropolitan Police spokesman said they are not treating the explosion as suspicious. Road closures are currently in place yesterday and it happened on Wednesday the 21st of October. I send my condolences to the families of the people that was involved and the people that have lost their life, and I hope nobody else loses their life as well in the coming time and hours. No other information has been released on updates. Nobody has been identified as of yet. But in other news coming from London, and again thank you to Dave Nathan, our reporter in Harrow, for getting the video and pictures from the attack on the London Underground station in Harrow-on-the-Hill. A 16-year-old girl was stabbed in this incident and tributes were already placed in the area, even though it's not believed that she's in a life-threatening condition. British Transport Police officers and London Ambulance Service rushed to the scene at Harrow-on-the-Hill station to help the teenager who was stabbed just before 11 AM on Tuesday, October the 20th. She'd been stabbed in the leg in the tube station and was taken to hospital. Thankfully, her injuries are not thought to be life-threatening. But a lot of people do this where they stab people in the leg, hoping that it's not going to kill you, but there is veins and arteries in the leg that can be fatal if you hit the wrong one. British Transport Police reported earlier the victim was a man, and the force corrected that and clarified that it was a 16-year-old girl. The police said there was called to the station following reports of a serious assault. Paramedics attended and she had an injury consistent with a stabbing, and the station was closed while investigations took place and forensic officers were seen in the area. So it does seem like every day the victims are getting younger and younger, and even involving, which is very unusual, women. Not usually what you'd imagine to associate with knife crime. But this just goes to show the wide spanning effect that violence does have, is that anyone can be a victim of it. So I really appreciate you joining me for these 2 stories. We've got a lot of news on the way. Please don't forget to follow, and please let us know if you watched the last video on the Nigerian embassy. That video is being limited and deranked by YouTube due to independent news. So I'd really appreciate it if you could let me know in the chat if you did watch the last video on the Nigerian embassy protest and the Lekki tollgate story. So I really appreciate you joining me today. I'll be back again very shortly with some more news. Peace. Justice.